Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery, and visit me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Okay, so today we've got a tractor video. Alright, so this new place of mine, we get the snow drifts up really bad in front of the driveway. In fact, when we bought the place, there was a humongous drift out there. Now I always thought I was, pretty good with a snow shovel. I ain't that good with a snow shovel, so I got a snow blower, and then even that, I really kind of wonder if that would take care of those drifts. Honestly, I kind of always wanted a tractor, so I ended up buying a tractor. This is a McCormick WD6. It's a 1952. The serial number is in the 600s, which I think is kind of cool. I bought it from a friend of mine in my boys' Volkswagen club. He had a friend that they were really good friends. This was his tractor. Well, he ended up passing away, and his kids were settling his estate, selling off the houses, the cars. Well, this tractor was in the backyard also. This tractor, so apparently it had been sitting for 10 years, I think is what the neighbor said. And the one son, he worked on the tractor quite a bit to get it going, but he was having quite a few difficulties getting it started. One, it was the middle of winter. The battery was dead, so they went and got a new battery. The oil, I ended up, when I changed the oil, it had like an extra gallon worth of oil in the crankcase. I'm not really sure what was happening with that. Maybe it's aftermarket dipstick or anything, but looking at it, the dipstick looked like it was the correct one for it. And when I finally got the book, I ended up putting the correct amount of oil in there. That's what the book said. Anyway, so this video is mostly going to be on starting this tractor because, like I said, it's a little bit different. It's a 4-cylinder diesel engine. Now, granted, okay, I don't know much at all about tractors, but what I do know is that when I went to YouTube to try to find videos on how to start this dang thing, I found one. That was a very helpful video, but the fella didn't shoot it from as good angles as what I was hoping for. So I'm going to do one and hopefully correct that. So between his video and my video, maybe anybody else that picks up one of these old things, or maybe 20 years from now, I have a freak accident and die, and my boy's like, well, heck, how do I get this thing out of here? So somebody will at least know how to start the dang thing. So anyway, it is a 4-cylinder diesel engine that apparently has decompression valves in each one of the cylinders, I'm guessing, and a spark plug in each one of the cylinders. So it's so you've got your engine sitting here. I'll just walk you around. Okay, so if you think about it, is this right here is your gasoline side of the engine. Okay, you've got a tiny little idle only carburetor, okay, and a distributor that looks like a coil to me. Anyways, that's your oil filter, or oil, where you add oil at. This right here is a sediment bowl, apparently. Okay, so we're going to need this, and it's got a fuel shutoff valve up in here. So we're going to open that, and you can see the fuel swirling down in there, and it kind of looks to me like I've got some more sediment. Yeah, it's right there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the sediment swirling around in there. We've got a choke lever up there that we'll use. Okay, we will open up this petcock, get some fuel draining out, get rid of the air that's in that system there. This tractor is very cool. I mean, it still needs quite a bit of work, especially the hydraulic hoses. We've already blown 2 of them. His battery box needs rebuilt. There's something drawing power while the tractor is off, so I've been disconnecting the battery in between runs. This right here is your diesel side. There's your diesel injection pump, your diesel filters. There's a lever that goes from here all the way up to here. What it actually does, I couldn't tell you, but I know how it works, so let's get you up. Actually, let's break down the tripod a little bit. There, hopefully that'll be short enough that you can see what's going on. Okay, so now if I can see through the screen without the glare to see what's going on. Okay. Might be on a funky angle here, but okay, so this lever right here, this is your throttle for the diesel side, okay? As far as I can tell, it does not affect the gasoline side. This right here okay, this is your switchover lever, or your decompression lever. Apparently this lever is supposed to do a couple of things. When you lift it up, okay, it's supposed to close your decompression valves. It's supposed to engage your diesel fuel pump. It's supposed to disengage the power going to the distributor, and I think that's it. If you push down on it, it's got a little bit of a give, you know, like you're pushing against the springs on a decompression valve, I would guess. But anyway, so we'll push it down. The throttle lever, I've been lifting it up just a tiny bit. Now this down in here, this is your choke lever, so we're going to pull it out. This, I believe, is an aftermarket ignition switch, so it's going to need to be all the way out. When I push it in halfway, it kills the engine when it's running on gasoline, so that's what tells me that it's an ignition switch. Now apparently, to begin with, right there where my foot is, that square, that's the old ignition switch. The fellow that I bought it from said that he has a new one on order, that it hasn't got here yet. He said when it gets here, he'll give me a holler, let me know. So I haven't ordered a new one yet. So right now, we have these two wires that we touch together, and that makes the starter go vroom vroom. So let's get you into place here. Okay, so we turned our fuel on, we have our choke out, we have our ignition switch on. So now when we touch these two wires together, we should fire it up. So I had to put a little bit of choke in. Okay, so now we got to let the thing run for the manual, which I was able to find a couple on eBay. They're all reprints. They said let it run for a minute, 1 to 3 minutes to let it warm up. We'll push the choke in. And it'll sound an awful lot different. You know, the sound we've got going on now, I mean, it's burning nice and clean. You can see the smokestack there. I'm not quite sure how to explain the difference in the sound, except for to say that, you know, it sounds like it's ready, you know, like it's running a little bit better on the gas. And like I said, the little carburetor, it's an idle only carburetor. I mean, it's a pretty cool tractor, it seems to be. I mean, I think I gave a pretty fair price for it, considering it seems to run pretty good. I've already changed the oil. We've changed out 2 2 hydraulic hoses because both of them blew. So what I need to do is get all the hydraulic hoses replaced, and then I still got to change the oil in the transmission. Apparently this one, the transmission and the rear differential are the same oil, so I got to change that. And then the fuel filters on the diesel side, probably swap out the coolant, you know, I mean, just kind of go through it. I mean, it's been sitting for 10 years. Okay, you hear that change in the sound of it? The RPM picked up a little bit. I don't know how to describe that sound any other than that. Other than the RPM picked up a little bit, and it seems like it's getting warmed up. Oh, and then it doesn't have a 3-point hitch, so I've got to find the 3-point hitch and install it on the back, and then we can use it to put the fence in the new place. There, that idle changed a little bit more. The RPM picked up some more. Okay, so we are almost ready to do the whole switch thing. All right, so, and this is one of those times I wish this screen was a little bit bigger. Okay, there's the throttle valve, and there is the diesel turn-on valve. Okay, so what I've been doing is I lift this up, at the same time give it some diesel fuel. And that idle seems like it's about ready to. I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt it to keep running it on gas, but it seems like it's about ready. So we throw this lever, and now it's running on diesel. Actually, it's come all the way in the shop. Okay, so I don't have any work for the tractor to do right now. Let's see if I can get you up here. Maybe I'll have to sit down so that you can see me. I don't have any real work for the tractor to do right now. In fact, I don't have any work for it at all. I just wanted to go ahead and fire it up. We got a big snowstorm coming in this weekend, and you know, that's one of the big reasons I bought the thing, was to be able to clear snow off the driveway and, you know, be able to get the cars in and out. So, you know, in the off chance that we have to use it this weekend, I'd kind of like to know that I at least had it running today. So I'll just let it run for a little bit. Just sit there and idle. I might ask my boy if he wants to take it for a spin around the yard or something. And then we'll go ahead and shut it down. Now, that was the thing on that other guy's video, and I wish I could think of his username at the moment, but seemed like all the places that I was looking at for information on this tractor before I got the manual was that you started it on gas and you shut it off, or you started it on gas, you ran it on diesel, and then you shut it off, and that was it. And that's what the kid of the guy that, well, I mean, I say kid, but I mean, he was my age, you know, 40ish or so. And that's what his understanding was. I kind of, oh, you just heard that pitch change on that tractor out there? Yeah, it's smoothing out and getting really warmed up on the diesel. But anyway, so he had it running, and then, you know, on diesel, and then he just shut it off. Well, so that's what we played. We had an awful lot of trouble getting it up on the trailer to get it over here to my house. We had it running fine. It was running for like an hour before we finally got that thing up onto the trailer, right? Get it up on the trailer. It was running on diesel. We shut it down, strapped it down, Brought it from that guy's house to my house, which was like 5 miles, right? Go to fire the thing up, and the dang thing will not start. It won't start on gas, it won't start on diesel. We had been starting it on ether, tried ether, dang thing would not start at all. Finally, so we ended up hooking up a tow strap to the bucket and my truck. We had it backed up onto the trailer. So we hooked up a tow strap onto the bucket and to my truck, and then the guy in the truck and the trailer, you know, we just started driving in different directions. So I pulled the tractor off, he pulled the trailer out from underneath it. The tractor, I mean, it came down the ramps. It worked really slick. That way he could get off and go to work. And it took me probably 2-3 hours to finally get the thing started again. And then, but that's why I was having such a hard time, was because, so not only do you start it on gas, run it on diesel, but then when you're done with your work, you have to switch it back over to gas to burn that extra diesel out. Otherwise, when you go to start it up again, you've got that diesel that's in those cylinders, and that diesel does not want to ignite as easy as the gasoline does. Okay, so so that's what we're about to go do now, because that RPM really smoothed out, and so that tells me that it's nice and warm, and we've probably got all the good that we're going to get out of, you know, running it for a bit, and keeps the video halfway short. Which I say short, for my videos this is pretty short. Oh, and there's my boy over here. He's got his old Volkswagen Bug tore apart. That's him waving. I don't know, can you see him? Wave again, Vance. Yeah, he's redoing the fuse box today, I think. This is his pride and joy, that old Bug there. It's a 69 Volkswagen, the standard Beetle. Okay, let's go shut this tractor down. I forgot, when you once you got it running on diesel, you can go ahead and put this switch, this ignition switch, back into the middle position. All right, so let's drop our RPM. Okay, now since that switch is still on and we didn't turn the on-off switch on the gas off, we should be able to bring this down and it should stay running. It didn't. That's okay. All right, so our ignition switch is still on. Our choke is all the way off. Throttle's down some. Okay. Now that's running on straight gasoline now. So now we'll let it run on gas for a minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and we can, to shut it off, you can